Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our series. We're doing a study in the book of Proverbs, trying to find wisdom as it relates to different areas of our lives. Today we're looking and we're continuing in the theme of trying to find wisdom as it relates to the issue of wealth. In the materialistic age in which we live, I think this is a good one for us to focus on for today and the next couple of days as well. There's a verse I'd like to read to you that sets the scene. You find it in Proverbs 3 verse 27. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow, when you know you have it with you. You see, people, yesterday we spoke about the socio-economic challenge of church. We said how that culture and color are not nearly as big a challenge in the context certainly of church in our land. Yesterday we spoke about the fact that socio-economic division is very prevalent in our churches, where the haves and the have-nots just do not seem to be able to find a common meeting place. I'm so blessed that our church has gone a long way down this road in this journey, but we still have a long way to go. There is a concept that I'd like to share with you. I had a friend once who was into bodybuilding, and he was a competitive bodybuilder, and I went one day to one of his competitions and watched him posing up there on the stage, and he was doing his thing. And the thought came to me that, at the end of the show, it was impressive what these guys look like, but I hadn't seen one of them do anything strong. All they did was parade their power. And I often think about us as maybe a wealthier nation or wealthier people in a wealthy nation, to think, is that not what we do sometimes? In the light of the poor and the downtrodden and the under-resourced, it's easy to be critical. But at the same time, we tend to parade our power that money or wealth gives us, because it does. And I think that that's wrong. I think that that's clearly wrong. We need to use our power or our wealth in this particular case for the upliftment of people and communities around us. I see that as a fundamental role of our church. Now, there are a few things in life that I've noticed. One of them is that everybody in life is wanting to make a difference. I think we're born with a desire to make a difference in the world around us. And one of the things that we need to do in order to make a difference, and I have two of them for you today, is the first thing, if you want to make a difference, is you've got to grow up. You've got to grow up. See, maturity is the key. Now, maturity is the source of selflessness. It's out of selfless people are people who have grown up and are indeed mature in their outlook. Immature people find themselves being selfish people. So we need to grow up. When you're 2 years old, your key phrase is, it's mine, it's mine. I'm not going to share my toy with you, it's mine. I want my thing, I want mine. It belongs to me, even if I'm not going to use it, it's mine, and I'm going to hold on to it. Why does a 2-year-old do that? Kid's immature. He's just a child. That's what kids do. But as we grow up, and certainly in the light and the ministry of the church, we have to lose that mentality. It's not yours. It's not yours. Who said it was yours in the first place? Everything that God has given to you is His, and it's to use for His glory and for His kingdom. Where do we get this idea that it belongs to us anyway? Everything we have comes from God. Everything that we have earned, although we have done the work, God is the source of all of that material blessing. It actually belongs to Him. Now, when we grow up and we come with a mature attitude, realizing that everything I have is God's, we begin to see a different picture around us. In order to make a difference in life, we need to grow up. It's not yours. It belongs to God. The second thing to make a difference is we need to win. We need to grow up first of all, and we need to win. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking we need to win in life in order to win big contracts and win big finance. No, I'm not talking about that. What we need to win against is the prevailing wisdom that agrees with number one, that it's yours. Prevailing wisdom out there says, you've earned it, pal. You've worked really hard. You've slogged along. You've taken the risk. You've done all that. Everything you've earned is yours. And all it does is affirm rule number one that says it's mine. It's not yours. It belongs to Him. I remind you again. Now Proverbs 14 verse 12, says this: there is a way that seems right unto man, but it ends and it leads to destruction. Now the world around you is telling you it's yours. Don't listen to them, people. It's not yours. It belongs to God. You've done well. You've earned it. You've earned the finance. You've earned the wealth. And we applaud that. We take nothing away from the hard work and the sacrifices that you've made. But it is God who has given you the ability to be able to do that. Some people just have a greater ability to make money and wealth than others. And those who have done well with wealth have a responsibility to utilize that well for the glory of God and for the extension of His kingdom. That means different things to different people. But I hope that in your journey that it will become more about God and less about you, more about others and less about yours, as you grow up and as you win over the prevailing wisdom of the day to say, well done, we applaud you. Do we not? When we see someone do well. And sometimes I think we overdo this, where we give to those who already have a whole lot more because they've done well. And I'm thinking, man, that guy, the last thing he needs is an extra R1,000,000 as a prize. He's already got that. Why don't we have a more intelligent view of this and a more biblical view of what wealth is all about? Why do we worry about our finance? Why do we worry? Jesus said, you don't need to worry about that stuff. Has not your heavenly Father promised you that He'll give you everything you need? Remember, we've often said it's not what you want, it's what you need, that God has offered to provide to you. Do not listen to the prevailing wisdom of the world around us. Now Proverbs 22 verse 9 talks about a blessed man. It says a blessed man is a generous man. Now you would think that he's blessed because he's got. No. He's blessed because he's generous. There's something about generous people. I know a few of them. And they are just the happiest, most fulfilled people in the world. And I have been a recipient of so much generosity. Our church is blessed with generous people. We have generous partners overseas. We have people around us who sustain and have bought into the vision of using their finances well to the upliftment of the community and to the glory of God and the betterment of mankind. That fires me up. And I hope that you can buy into that as well today. I have often sat at the deathbed of people, and I'm always fascinated by this because it's a place of highest privilege. And in conversation with people that I have seen leaving this life to go to the next, I've noticed that there are some things that we talk about and some things we don't. I've never ever heard somebody on their deathbed to say to me, Trevor, hey, tell me how much money I've got in the bank before I go. I've never heard anybody ask for that. I've never heard anybody on their deathbed ever ask me, so Trevor, just check my stocks and shares quickly, how they're doing just quickly before I die. I've never heard that either. Because at the end of the day, people listen carefully. At the end of the day, those things don't count. What you have done with those things, that's what really counts. So I hope that we will buy into what God is saying to us here in a world that so needs us, that we'll be a blessing to those who are around us. So remember that having wealth is a great thing. We take nothing away from you. We applaud it in a way, but we warn you to say it's a great temptation. More is not always more, and more is not always enough. We know that, but I really hope and pray that you will utilize what God has given you, whether it be much or little, to His glory and for the betterment of the people around you. God bless you. Let's go save the world.